We're in.
Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. We are Dicey Decisions, and this campaign streaming for 2 hours on Monday nights is Zeros to Heroes, our narrative Dungeons and Dragons fantasy campaign. And you can find us streaming on Twitch and all our previous episodes on YouTube under Dicey Decisions RPG. And we invite all of you to join us on Discord at Dicey Decisions, and you're welcome to play with us on one shots or even run an adventure if you feel like it someday. Um, okay, any shout outs or plugs this evening from our cast?
Yeah, you know what? I think I got one.
Good, let's hear it.
So there's this really cool Spider-Man Instagram account that I've been following, and he just left. It's been blowing up recently, and I think that's really cool. Go check him out.
Good.
It's if you want to give the full Instagram account, I think it's called Spider Dan. Is that right?
The handle is at Spidey Banny.
Spidey Banny, okay.
SPIDEYBANNY. If you feel like voiceover / shenanigans, it is your channel.
That's fun.
Okay.
Yeah, Gumi and I, John and I did a Iron Man Spidey comic collab, and yeah, so viewers seem to like it.
Very
Great.
cool.
I can't wait to go look at it. I had a much more mundane shout out, but I think I'm going to skip mine because it doesn't even come
What?
close to that one.
Why not?
Okay, all right. Shout out to remote controls.
Nice.
How different our lives would be without remote control.
Hey,
That's
I like
true.
remote controls.
Yeah.
I like.
Oh, I've got one too. Shout out to my grandpa, who's 97 today.
Wow. Yay, Grandpa.
Wow.
Go, Grandpa.
Go,
That's
go,
amazing.
Grandpa.
That's really funny. My
Happy
grandmother turned 94 this week.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
Yay.
Wow, that's amazing.
What are the
I-
coincidences?
I really wish you could, I don't know, I wish I knew him just to say congratulations. That's a big deal. Are they still like mentally with us? Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing.
He's kind of poor, so that part's kind of hit or miss, but he's still pretty with it.
Maybe we can get him to play a character on here. That would be so fun. I don't know if they'd be, I mean, they wouldn't understand, I'm sure, but it would be so great to get them on here. Ah, okay. My grandparents wouldn't have done it. They would be like, what? I wouldn't have even asked them, but these days I think you can. All right. If that's all, now for Zeros to Heroes. Cue the amazing, what's his name? The guy who does the Star Wars sounds, soundtracks. John Williams.
John Williams.
Cue the John Williams music. Tiny, glimmering lights that could be stars adorn the high vault of this immense cavern. Trees, in air quotes, and all manner of plant-like shapes glow with soft color in the forest that is no forest. If one closes one's eyes in this wonderland of sights, some other senses are oddly dulled. Sounds? There are few. The creatures here have spoken in our heroes' minds only. Odors also few. This is an unusualness that's vaguely unsettling until one realizes that all odors are drowned by the faint smell of molds. Taste, too, is bland, as the few morsels of food offered have had muted taste and are for sustenance more than gourmet. Yes, but the sense of touch. As our heroes snuggle into their soft cushioned beds and the growth envelops them and holds them close, not warm nor cool, but strangely perfect in temperature. Their skin is enveloped, and for a moment there's a feeling almost of claustrophobic panic, but it melts away, and pure comfort takes sway over each of them. The swirling, spore-filled air, the dizzying array of soft color, the full-body touch create a heady perfume, and our five slip into a deep and dream-rich sleep. Odd creatures of varying shapes and sizes surround our group, watching. And after a time, moving away, or closing in upon themselves, or shrinking away to almost nothing, until there is a perfect silence in the glade of she. Stony, can you please describe your dreams?
So as he is just like he's very much enjoying the experience of being wrapped up in a almost temperatureless mushroom experience. He didn't expect to be like totally like encompassed, but a strange feeling is very inviting to him. He loves the new experience that he's got going on, and as he drifts off into sleep, of course, what better place to go than Mushroom Land, where things are upside down and like you know things are whatever that you just kind of go with it, and he does you know um begins bouncing on mushrooms and soaring through the air. He tries to like picture what it's like to fly through the Underdark, maybe, and maybe like caverns around some like nestled in castles into the side. um and he will come to like the patch of mushrooms, um and as he gets closer and closer to like a patch of like fruiting mushrooms, he shrinks in size. He gets all giddy and starts giggling. And then he takes his finger, like what he does in the real world, and he starts drawing with it in the air. He like draws little mushroom patterns, and like the myconids that he saw like come out to like play and dance. And Fern is there too. Fern is giggling, and
Oh.
they hold hands, and they're like skipping and bouncing, and then all of a sudden, as he's like drawing something fun and playing with it, he gets an idea, and he starts using, instead of his just the fingertip to draw, he starts using his hand, and so he sees magical hand swipes going through the air, and then his arm, and then as it like in this like magical glow envelops all of him, he steps out of himself, and he looks behind himself and sees another version of him, and he says hello, and the other Stony says hi back. And then he keeps going, and there are more and more Stonies start filling up the space, until it becomes a critical mass of Stonies.
Potentially terrifying.
Yes, and yes, potentially terrifying. He sees Fern's look turns from like surprise to happy to, oh no, please stop. And that's where his dream will kind of like wake up from there.
Well, not wake waking up yet.
Not
but
just yet. Yes.
We'll leave his dream there as Stony bounces through this dreamscape and leaves staggered images of him behind that all spring to life. And Stony has a full night's sleep. You may take a long rest. Rip. What is Rip dreaming of?
Is finding a nice mossy area to rest and dreams of their sort of the parts of them that are already a bit mossy and fungusy sort of spreading until you can't tell where the moss bed ends and Rip begins. And then they sit up from this blanket of moss as a little tiny little myconid sprout, a little myconid kid, and pops up with a bunch of other little myconid sprouts to go tumbling over all these rocks and other features, and finds a little myconid puppy, little myconid sprout puppy that, you know, in dreams when something just feels like something, it doesn't look like Otto, but it feels like Otto, and just kind of enjoys the day as one of these little myconid sprouts getting into whatever kind of trouble little mushroom children get into.
Can you please roll a... I'm trying to decide what it would be. Because as you're playing around, you're going to meet in your dreams other little mushroom children and other little cute mushroom things, animals, whatever. All of them very cutesy. But let's see. What is your proficiency in? Wisdom?
Yes.
Roll an insight check, please.
I'm going to use my brand new dice that are based on what's it called? Inky cat mushrooms.
Ooh,
A little
hold
dice
on.
sets just for Rip.
Wow.
Wait, can you hold that up to the camera one more time?
Yeah, I want to see it.
Yeah. This is
Oh, I wish I could see it. Wow, that's so cool. There's
it's
man.
black on the bottom, and then I'm like, if I get out of the way,
There you
bottom,
go.
it's got a little mushroom inside.
Oh,
That's cool.
cute.
Very cute.
Yes, very
Yeah.
cool.
They're so cute. I saw them and they were on sale on Etsy, and I was like, what
Perfect.
have I not? For $12.
Yeah, well, let's see how they work.
Let's see how they roll. Oh no.
Oh no.
That is, yeah, that's a nat 1.
No,
It's a
for your
maiden
first roll.
And you get that one out of the way forever.
Yeah, hopefully.
It's just a fun dream. And you don't understand what any of them are saying, but you just roll with it and you run and play as if with a bunch of people who you've children playing games that they can't converse in language, but they converse in games. All right. And we will leave you to your dreams and ask for Fern's dreams this evening.
Fern is also dreaming of mushrooms, but in this case, she has gone back to when she first started seeing faces in mushrooms and is kind of replaying the time she was trying to convince everyone that they were alive and no one would listen to her. And she's kind of stuck in this dreamception loop of trying and trying and trying to convince everyone and either getting very, very close and not succeeding and then waking up into a new dream of the same thing, or trying very hard and finally not quite succeeding, but then the lady appears and everyone realizes that they were wrong and that they're actually are alive, but they still don't give her any credit. And so that's very frustrating. And then she wakes up into a new dream where she does it all over again. And so she doesn't actually ever wake from sleep, but it's just this like going from one dream into the next, into the next, into the next of just trying to convince everyone that these are alive mushrooms. They have faces, they are real, they have lives of their own.
I think throughout your dream, there is one little one, the one that you saw so long ago, the first one that winked at you, is always trying to reach up and tug at the hem of your pants, and you just keep brushing it off and moving forward.
Poor little guy.
It's kind of rude, Fern. Just kidding.
It's a dream. I can't control myself. I'm so sorry.
Now, unfortunately, you've got a mouthful, Baniel, but I'm going
I'm
to
good.
ask you to recount the dream that Pieta is going through.
So Pieta hasn't been really able to rest in a while, and this is the first time he's felt kind of comfortable enough to kind of let himself not sleep with the third eye open. Um, Even though we're in the Underdark, it feels oddly safe, and it's not, and he doesn't know if it's like spell wise, like oh, why he feels this way, but he feels like he can go into a deeper slumber, and so he hasn't had a dream this whole journey until this one. Um, and this one was is re this dream is a reminiscent one. He remembers that his friend Harry and his friend Mary um exist and is thinking about them fondly and is thinking about kind of their timeline together from Gladewell playing on the hills to simply like seeing them kind of in the house together and he just like he's kind of experiencing it as if he was a like he was watching him experience his life over again. It's kind of like a weird, trippy third eye view kind of thing, and so it feels a little out of body. And yeah, that's his dream that he's experiencing.
So, not a wonderful dream, but just kind of a reminiscing dream.
Yeah, nothing super pleasant, nothing super bad. It's just kind of reminiscent, like melancholic. Like, oh yeah, I have a life outside of adventuring and defeating things, and right, there's other things as well in my life. And then he remembers his aunt too. Like he's just kind of remembering and reminiscing and that kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Because he doesn't really get a chance to do that.
Toward the end of this portion of your dream, you realize that you are watching yourself, and you look down and see that your hands are your hands, and you look down your body and you see that you have grown roots. Your legs have tendrils and vines coming off of them reaching into the ground, and you notice that the roots are growing outward, ever growing. You can see them going across the ground, and you see that you are connected via these roots to all of the people in your dream. And we'll leave you there. And last, Sunny. Sunny and Grim are nestled into this fungal, grown-up fungus cushion that has wrapped around them, and Grim is not alive. She dreams she looks at Grim, and it's just a puppet. It's gone. And then she starts to try to move and find where he's gone, and she can't move. She's trapped. And she starts fighting, and she pushes and kicks and falls out of a doorway into a room. She looks around. It is a mushroom house that Mother grew for her. She shakes her head and rushes through the front door and throws the door open, and there's another room. She runs across to the next door and throws it open, and there's another room. And her dream is running, opening doors, charging through, trying to find the last door, and going and going and going, going, going. And in the background, she starts to hear the cackle of Grim in her head. Okay. You guys are all dreaming these varied dreams. Some of them very psychedelic. Some of them not so much. I would like for all of you to roll. I would like you to argue what you're rolling, like whatever you're using to move your dreams forward. It can be any skill or even one of your abilities. I want you to tell me what you're rolling and why, because we're pushing forward in this dream, and I want to see what you're using to get there. Let's start with Becca.
I would like to try to use insight again, if I
Okay.
may. I think that is very apropos when, cavorting with these little other mushroom children trying to understand what we're doing.
Okay.
So I did do another test roll and got a 5, but that's not a 1. So
You're working it up. Here we go.
we're-
It should be at a
we're
10
good.
next time.
Yep. All right, that's much better. That is a 15 on the die for a 21.
There we go. All right. Good. Pieta?
I'll try this one. I'll try to argue for this one, since he's kind of like a bird's eye view and watching over everything. I want to go for perception, since he's viewing everything.
Sure, that sounds good.
Okay. Oh wow, 19 on the die for a 23.
Perfect. Stony?
Oh, thank you.
I'm gonna go for Arcana, obviously.
Interesting.
Things
Okay.
are magical in nature, and obviously the solution forward must be magic, right?
Maybe.
I got a 17.
All right. That's very good. And Fern.
Oh, persuasion. I am going to make everyone listen.
Fair.
And that's a 15.
Okay. And Sonny is going with intimidation, as she gets really angry and decides to kick through the wall of the house instead of go through the next door.
Classic.
Okay. Let's go to Rip. As you try to understand these little myconid children, they all start pointing and waving you. Come on, let's go. It seems like they're calling you forward. And these little new little children, myconid children, are growing up really quickly out of the ground in a pathway forward. And you follow them.
I would.
Ieta, you see the roots that are extending off your body are winding in one direction, winding around each other, and pointing in a direction. And your mind, your view follows this direction. It slips down underneath a tree root into a hole and plunges down into the dark. Stony, the magic that you are creating, the lights, the spectacle around you begin to coalesce, and you see a bright, like, passageway ahead of you. And entering through this passageway, you see the indications of a direction. Little lights blinking into shape, and you float down this path. Fern, as you turn around to grab one of your compatriots' shirt and say, "Look, I'm trying to show you," the little one tugging at the hem of your pants jerks your leg so hard you look at him, and he grabs your face with his tiny little hands, and he pushes it over to the side, and you see your friends disappearing down this path that's lit up with these strange pink lights, and you start running after them. Sunny starts pounding and beating on the wall of this house. It's soft, and her hands and feet are sinking in. And so she pulls out Grim's puppet, and she takes the little antlers that she's attached, rips one off, just starts carving into the wall until she makes a big tear. She forces her way through, and there is a pathway in front of her. A pathway made of pink bricks stretching off into the distance. You all follow this pathway. It winds through the forest. This forest looks, as it materializes in your dream, it looks familiar. You remember this. This forest is one you've been in. And the boughs above are arched so that it looks like a perfect little tunnel pathway, and the floor occasionally flashes with these little pink and blue pulses guiding you on. And the undergrowth, the bushes and things in your way, part aside for you to move through, and you feel like you're not alone. You're following this path, and in the distance you see dark mountains, and in the sky above you, stars. And the path leads out of the forest, up these craggy, rocky hills, and you see shining on top of this tall peak of broken rock a citadel or a castle or something. And you see flickering lights as if there are torches and fires lit within. And the windows are glowing. And there's a sheer cliff. And looking high above, there are ropes with gurneys that can be lowered and lifted, and they are so high above on this sheer cliff that you'd never get to them. But your pathway doesn't lead to that. It leads to the right. And you follow these little glowing pathway markers, and you come to a very ragged, cracked ascent where you would have to jump and pull yourself up ledge after ledge. But these tiny, sparkling lights, some of them turning off, some of them turning on, lead you up this cracked pathway. Higher and higher, you're floating along until you come to a very high cliff, hundreds of feet above the glowing forest behind you. And you look down, see a vast, glowing world. And on this cliff, there are tiny, tiny little spots of fungus growing in cracks and ledges, and they're lighting up and showing you the way. And on this ledge, this wide ledge, roams restless ghost, floating to the edges. You can't see its face, but its hands are writhing around each other and gripping into fists, and then it floats away, and then it comes back, and it floats away. But your path leads you on, higher and higher, climb, until you find yourself above this citadel you saw, looking down upon it. And you see there's a temple with 3 wings extending from a central atrium. And within this temple, you see, in the center of it, you see a broken statue. What remains of the statue are 8 spindly spider legs. The center of it is crushed and broken, and you can't see what the center looked like. Scattered around on the ground, though, seems like human arms. Also statue arms. And as you look upon this temple, the pathway, the little glowing pathway, leads you down off other jagged ledges, down toward the temple. And you wake up. As you wake up in the morning, you don't wake up on your own. These pod things that have enclosed you all night are just receding away. It's still dark. There's still stars in the sky, but you have all received a long rest. And these pods shrink away, almost deflating into empty bags and starting to crack and wither and get powdery. And you are back in this glade where she told you to rest. And you see the little tiny myconids that had been dancing around and things. Most of them are gone. There are a few. The larger ones that looked like she are completely gone. And sitting over where she was the night before is the same elf, Erwinin. She's an elf. She has blue hair and blue eyes. She's kind of got kind of dirty, weather-worn leather clothing on, and she's sitting on a log or something, and says, "Good morning to you all. If it's morning, I hope you rested well."
I think you would know better than anyone else if it were morning, since you've been down here in the Underdark for how long exactly?
On and off, quite some time. I have no idea if it's morning. I simply said it because you awakened. It could be any time. But again, I hope you rested well. And certainly it wasn't... I'm not your host. I'm just passing pleasant conversation.
Yes, well, Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
Oh, no, you can continue.
Well, I thought Becca was saying something.
No, I was yawning.
Oh.
Me me and Rip.
Yes, well, uh, you wouldn't happen to know if this place harbors, rather strange dreams, now, would you?
Of course, every spore-filled dream is odd. I hope you weren't uncomfortable. Sonny says, I was. That was a terrible night. Well, I apologize. Well, it's not my fault. I'm sorry you had a bad experience, but it seems you're well rested. Would you like some food?
Oh yeah, he does.
Well,
I can also look for stuff.
you could, but she left a supply for us all to pick from. It's not extremely delicious, but it is nutritious. She just gestures over at like a pile of different plant matter.
Oh, Rip's gonna go over and start digging through it to see what they can combine. Ooh, this would be good with that. Hey, who would like this most? Sunny, you would like this one the most. Okay, and I'm gonna combine. You can really mush these two together. Okay, yeah, that, and they'll just go through and mix some stuff together for everybody and hand stuff out. Yeah, that should be good.
Yep. Sonny asks Erwinin if there's any bean juice, and Erwinin says no. And then she asks for any ale. Also, the answer is no.
Sunny, this early in the morning?
Well,
Wait, I guess
I'm
it's not really
thirsty.
morning. We don't know what time it is. This is weird. He gets like a shiver.
Erwinin says there is fresh water. If you look over there, and there's a tree that's leaking water out into a rounded, like, tub made of this same spongy material you slept in.
Erwin, how long do you plan to stay in this area?
I never make travel plans. I just, when I'm ready, I leave. I've been here for, I mean, who can tell time here? I feel like I've been here for maybe a week, and then I'll travel on when I'm tired of it. It's very comfortable, and it makes you very complacent when you're here, and I do need to fight that feeling, but for now, I've got nowhere to be.
Do you dream while you're here?
Oh, yes.
Of castles and mushrooms and...
You had that dream too? With the castle and was there a path and it was kind of pinky and there were lights?
Yes, and a cliff?
It was more of a citadel for me.
What was that place? Did you have a temple at the end?
It seems we all had the same dream.
Whoa, this is crazy, creepy.
Well, I suppose if it's brought on by the mushrooms, and the mushrooms do all seem to be connected, so perhaps we dreamed their collective thoughts.
Perhaps they are guiding us to where we need to go. Perhaps it is Lady Affadil.
In response to your question, I did not have that type of dream. No, I dreamt pie. It's been quite some time since I've had pie.
That's so good.
What kind of pie flavor was it?
I couldn't quite tell you. There were different flavors, and some were meat pies and some were fruit pies.
Interesting.
I was sampling many pies. It was a delightful dream, frankly.
Can I ask a clarifying question? So you said
Sure.
that in our dream, we went we kept going higher and higher and higher to get to the temple. But then you said we were going down to get to the temple.
Yeah, so let's say the temple's here. You climbed up a cliff and then up a mountain and came down the other side into the
Oh, okay.
temple.
Okay.
Because when you first got to it, it's so high up, and they had to lower things down and lift them back up to access the temple. You couldn't go up that sheer side.
Okay. Um, well, perhaps when we meet up with our intended targets, we can see if they know of this place.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I did. Did the temple seem like a place we needed to go, or a place we probably should avoid?
Well, judging by
It was smashed by something big.
was, but it does seem like it would have been a temple to her. In which case, well, perhaps that's where we do need to be. I wonder if they are restoring her temples.
I would think about. I mean, listen, I don't know a lot about the gods here, but I would think that if she's here, even if she's small, they probably would be. Maybe they're starting with one down here.
Hope she is still small.
Yes, I hope she is small too.
Every day she gets bigger.
Yeah, I can send a letter and see how that's working out whenever we get back up top.
You guys notice as you're talking to Erwin, and she looks over quickly. Her head spins around, and you see crawling from the edge of the forest, or shambling, like moving very slowly, the one who calls herself she. Although she's much smaller and withered and almost spongy and squishy, she's dragging herself forward, and the mushroom head cracks open, and you see the face. And the face that you saw before looks older, but it's the only part that doesn't look like it's dying. And it smiles and says, "I hope you received what you needed. We did our best."
It was lovely. Thank you so much for spending your fruiting body's time with us. I hope you have, a really peaceful return to the mycelium.
Of course. This is the way. She comes forward and lays kind of a wet hand along your face. I'm glad you understand.
Yeah, yeah.
Give our regard to the lady.
We will. We'll tell her that you were very kind and helpful.
That is good. A part of her kind of sloughs off and hits the ground. She picks it up carefully and tucks it under her arm. My time has come. Perhaps I shall see you upon your... She slowly turns and almost slides back toward the trees in the forest, and gives you one last look and raises a weak hand and disappears into the forest.
Rip, is that supposed to happen?
Yeah. So the thing with mushrooms is that like what we see is just like for a little time, for a short time, just for a good time, not a long time, and then like the long time, but also still kind of a good time is the mycelium that lives under the earth, but it'll sometimes fruit. You can't really think about mushrooms the same way you think about other living things. Real different. But we might see her again. Whenever we come back through, she might have another fruiting body. She didn't really like us, it seems, so maybe she'll put forth the effort to grow another body whenever we come back.
Yes, technically you could consider it a little death
Yeah.
with all the innuendos tied to it, both literally and figuratively.
Yeah,
Erwin
it just
says,
quietly takes this in and puts a hand on it, just like prays a little bit.
Erwin says, yes, it happens frequently. All of the large ones you saw yesterday were she, and the small ones last longer. But it did take quite an effort for them. Whatever they did a while back cost them quite some effort, so it may take them a little while to regrow. But it happens occasionally and constantly.
Wait, what do you mean by what they did a while back?
Uh, Yesterday, last night, whatever the time frame is, whatever, when you first arrived, that was they really were expending energy. And
Oh yeah.
it seems like through the night they really were pouring energy into something. So, uh, it's no worry. They have plenty of food. They're aware. They're everywhere. She looks around. They just don't always move about and expend that type of energy.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I was just checking to make sure there wasn't some kind of history of this area that we were missing.
I don't know. I'm not a historian.
Well,
I'm a songwriter, actually.
anything we might have heard before?
No, no. And I rarely even perform for humanoids, for sentient, well, for. I just play for myself mostly.
Well,
But I do
well,
like traveling.
now, now, hold on. You can't just tease us like that. Well, you
Oh,
play, but you will not play for us.
surely I would. Certainly.
I'll
She
toss. I'll
pulls
toss
out.
you a coin. Yeah. Yes,
Well,
please.
she pulls out her lute and plays a perfectly acceptable song.
Ah, that was lovely.
Thank you. Yes, I enjoy writing songs and playing them, but I I generally don't perform. I'm not. I don't consider myself among those who could do this for a living. I generally wander around and gather stories and put them down on paper in words and write the stories and share them with people. And I also trade magic items like I brought up yesterday. So if you have any items you'd like to maybe trade or sell to me, um, I would be happy. But even more than that, I would love to finally pick your brains. You've been here for uh, 8 or 9 hours, and really we haven't spoken. Who are you?
That is the question. I'm not sure we know ourselves currently. We're in a kind of, well, let's just say we've put on someone else's clothes for a day. We're traveling very far to find someone and something.
Yes,
Well,
indeed, it could even very much affect the fate of many things.
may
That
I
sounds
ask you,
important. Yes?
How much can we trust you? That is to say, she kind of, her eyes soften and she sits down beside Erwinin, and looks her in the eyes and says, "Do you worship anyone or anything by any chance?"
Is there a god of extreme freedom and no plans and nothing owned except the clothes on your back? A god of the wind, a god of free thought and expression? If there is, which I don't believe there is, that is the one I worship. I don't
like
want
this
to be
god.
tied down, and I want to be able to move whenever I wish and meet people or not meet people as I desire.
I like this god. Well,
Yes, perhaps we should name her.
Could I keep a? Would it be possible to keep a passive insight on this conversation just to see if there's any kind of like inconsistencies on
Absolutely.
Erwin's part?
Yep. And what is your passive insight?
16.
Okay. I'll just roll a die just in case I need to. Okay.
Just
we are traveling to find those who do not worship the same God as you. Those who would instead be against it.
Against freedom?
Yes, against joy.
Isn't that all? Well, against joy. A betrayer god.
Yes.
Which one could you be speaking of? There are very few that you would seek in the underdog. Did you know the gods are no longer? They are mortals, apparently now, or extinct.
I don't know that I would say no longer. It feels very much like they are, just in a new way. And that is what we are seeking. How they are now.
So you believe one of the gods has remortalized somewhere here in the underdog.
Yes. Well, whether they are here in the Underdark or somewhere else remains to be seen, but this is where we've been led to find out.
Led? Interesting. The stories you must have to tell. Would you, perchance, tell me your tale and allow me to write it down and turn it into perhaps a ballad or an epic poem or a long, perhaps arduous song that I tend to write that isn't really listenable, but I like playing?
Her eyes narrow and she looks over at Sunny and gives her a wink and says, "I'm not sure we could agree to anything like that if it didn't involve some kind of puppetry."
Sunny's eyes go bright, and she bounces over with Grim in hand and starts babbling about everything in every direction at once. I don't want to play Sunny because I'm nowhere near as good as Mel, but I'd be very confident to say that she doesn't start in the beginning and doesn't go chronologically. And Erwin says, "Whoa, that's great. That's lovely. That thank you. If you're going to tell me this story, though, could we start at the beginning and work our way forward in time to now?" if you're willing, or you just tell me one part of it, and I could put that to music.
Stony, you've read many stories. How would you
Yes.
tell our tale?
Um, well, I would tell it as perhaps an epic, but with many moving parts, of course. But if I were
Clearly,
to.
there's no end, correct? There's no end yet.
No, we are still on the journey.
I hope you will end our story favorably, though.
Well, I certainly won't finish until I hear what you've done, but I'm sure you have smaller episodes here and there that are quite impressive. Clearly, you are being led by the lady, whoever that is.
Yes. But perhaps our more sad and more arduous part of the journey, I would say, is when our dear friend Rip here died, but then they are back with us. Now that is a tale.
Isn't
Yeah.
magic fascinating? I want
Yeah.
to hear all about it.
Yes, yes, magic is fascinating, but it's it's magic that I was not privy to understanding, you know, such as it is with many of things that are powers beyond our control. You know.
Certainly, but it seems like a happy ending if Rip, if is that your name? Rip is here with us now.
Indeed.
It is.
I'd
And while
love
we
to
might
hear.
not have understood it yet, she squeezes Stony's hand. I'm sure we will understand it sometime.
Yes, we gained something precious, uh, but it also came at great sacrifice as well.
Interesting. Well, it would be cruel of you not to tell me the story now.
We will tell you the story. Bear in mind, however, that in this tale, we were asked to tell stories as well. And it was not as kind of an exchange.
It sounds fascinating. And she pulls from her satchel a journal, and she says, "One moment." She whistles a little bit, and a little feather pen floats up around and settles onto her journal. "Whenever you're ready." So she's willing to listen. You don't have to tell me the whole story if you don't want to. You can just say, "We told her the story about Rip."
Yeah, I
Or you
think
can give me as much as you wish.
I think we'd highlight the important points. Um, Maybe add in a few dramatizations.
I'm
You know.
sure Sunny really gives a lot of juicy details about Sunny's Stony's story um, and when we almost broke into Mother's house.
Oh my god.
You're so lucky you didn't. um, she is fascinated with this, and she pulls out a little after it's over, and this probably would have taken a good hour at least, with her asking for details and asking you to repeat a few things. She pulls out a tiny little coin purse and reaches inside, reaches like halfway in, way deeper than the bag is, and comes up with a handful of coins, and she says, "I'm sure this is plenty for that story," and holds it out to whomever's going to take it.
Well, I think we all know who's probably gonna reach first, but she isn't here right now.
Yeah. All right. So Sunny puts out her hand. Um,
Fern is
Baniel, can you
going
roll a
to.
d20,
Oh,
please? Go ahead, Fern.
Fern is going to try to actually push Sunny's hand away and instead say, I'm not sure you need to compensate us. I
Of
think
of course I do. That's what I do. Yeah. You're
I
fine. Yeah.
I think though perhaps you could compensate us in a different way.
What way would that be? As the coins clink into Sunny's hand.
Well, by performing, of course.
I've played. Oh, okay. I'll play you another song. And Daniel, would you roll on the d20?
I didn't even hear you say that. Let me
Oh,
see,
sorry.
D20. No, you're fine. Let's see, 13.
You get 13 platinum, or Sunny gets 13 platinum pieces.
Oh goodness.
Someone please write that down. And she happily pulls out her lute. And
Wait,
this time, go ahead.
no, not for us, not for us, Air. I mean, I need you to help us by performing about how the heroes of the land have defeated she who cannot be named before she's even begun.
Well, to make up in. Oh, interesting. Okay. I mean, surely I can. She has
Everywhere
been
you
defeated
can.
before. Okay. Okay. And perform it on the on the surface. Um, I suppose over time I have made contacts. I could probably. Hmm.
Uh, could I also look at your magical items for purchase?
Certainly. Yes, surely. She pulls
Oh,
out
I
the
have something to
staff.
sell.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I'll take mine out first, and
Sorry,
so
I
she
don't mean to
reach.
snub you, Fern. I think this is a fantastic idea.
No,
Um,
no, it's no, it's fine. I know how excited you must be to see what Air is carrying.
Yes, of course.
Rick is like nosily peering around Stony to see what he's looking at.
she reaches into her bag and just starts pulling stuff out without even looking. She pulls out 4 items. Um, the first one is a box about 6 inches long and a couple inches thick. She says, "This one is quite interesting. This is a folding boat." And looks around. There's certainly no water down here, but this little item unfolds into 2 different types of boats. One, a smaller boat, and one, a much larger boat, if you say the right command word. And she sets that down. She pulls the next thing
Whoa.
out. Yeah, these are, it's like 2 little pipes joined at the tip. So, like pan pipes, kind of, but there's only 2. And they are made clearly of bone with faces carved into the bone, like skeletal faces. These are pipes called the pipes of haunting, which will cast fear into the people who listen to it, perhaps if they are weak-willed. Um, she pulls out. Dang, I wish Sunny were here. She pulls out this jug that you instantly recognize because the dwarves all had one. It's an alchemy jug with all these little spigots sticking out all the way around it. This is an alchemy jug, and it can produce different liquids as you wish,
Ah!
a certain
Ah!
amount each day.
I've always wanted to use that in a practical way. Make it more of like a common home good, but oh, it's too much magic, too much magic.
And this one, hold on, I'm looking it up because I've completely forgotten what this one does. She pulls out a little harp-looking thing, which is called a lyre. And she says, this one is, and it's gold and it's got gems all over it. If the proper chord is struck, if it's played well, this can, how do I say, almost control buildings and it gives you control of certain edifices that are built. This is called a lyre of building. And I'm going to read it to you because I don't know how to describe it in character. It's crazy. This magical instrument is usually made of gold and inlaid with numerous gems. If the proper chords are struck, a single use of this lyre negates any attacks made against inanimate construction like walls, roof, floor, and so on within 300 feet. This includes the effects of a horn of blasting, a disintegrate spell, or an attack from a ram or siege weapon. This lyre can be used in this way once per day, with the protection lasting for 30 minutes. There's more. So it protects a dwelling or a building that you're inside of from damage from inanimate objects. I'm afraid these are the only ones I have now, but they are all fantastic. What do you have? And she looks at Pieta.
Oh, right. And Pieta rummages on it in his whatever the hell he has this. Probably in the bag of holding. Who's carrying the bag of holding that we have?
Maybe you?
I think you
I don't
have.
know.
Let me find. Or do you happen to remember the description of what I bought, the idol that I bought in
Oh,
in the store? I have it written down somewhere in my Discord. I'll have to find it here in a sec.
I'll go back and look it up. An idol.
Yeah, it was like it was you randomly generated it. I have the exact description. I just need to find it here.
Okay.
I was like, one second while I look for it. He
Okay.
says he says to them while he looks for the idol, and while in real life Daniel looks for the description.
All right, you keep looking. Does anybody else have anything they would like to sell or trade? Or does
I
anyone
wish
want-
Sunny were here because part of me really thinks that she would trade her cloak for that alchemy jug.
alchemy jug?
But I'm not
Um,
gonna make that for her. I wouldn't.
Well,
I
Well,
wouldn't
let's say when
I wouldn't want her to trade it. If she offered to trade her cloak, Rick would probably ask how much is the alchemy jug?
Oh, the alchemy jug, I purchased for, well, that doesn't matter. I would ask 200 gold for it.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
She just gave you how much?
1300?
13?
Or
130.
130
gold. Yeah. Does anybody else have anything in their inventory they'd like to pawn off?
Um,
No, but I want that boat so bad.
I know.
Above table, that's my favorite magic item because it's so chaotic and stupid, and I love it.
Then I think
it's
we
nuts.
should buy it. I know that we can't. I don't know if we have anything to trade for it, but we just got 13 platinum pieces. What are we going to do with it down here?
Well,
Air,
I
How-
could, yes.
how much is the epic tale of your life? Giving you more material than you could ever want to write and sing and proclaim. You could be the most famed bard in, well, anywhere.
If If you're asking me to follow you on your adventures and write about it and sing about it, I pass. But if you're willing to share your stories with me after the fact, find me, I would be happy to take you up on that. Now, of course, there's no guarantee that you will return or that you will find me. So how do we get past that little conundrum?
Well, where do you travel to and where do you go? Perhaps we shall find you there.
Again, wherever I decide, I don't have plans.
Or perhaps we tell you our story until this point,
Hmm?
and the ending is ambiguous until our paths meet again.
That would be an incentive for me to find you. Oh, that could be a very epic poem. An adventure? When did it begin?
Well, for the others, perhaps a little more recently. For myself, it began when I was a child.
Even better. A lifelong tale. Tell me, I don't think you told me your name. Who are you?
I am Fern, though some know me as Silver.
Ah, yes, and maybe you mentioned silver last night, or whenever before you. The Lay of Silver. Silver Fern. Ooh, Silver Fern. I like that. It's a deal. She puts out her hand.
She shakes.
Shake. Very
At that around that point, Pieta says, "Ah, found it!"
excellent. Okay, Silver Fern. What are the terms of this handshake contract? I
Oh, go ahead.
Yes, I need. First of all, what are you trying to gain from me?
Her eyes go straight to the box with the boat. I want that.
This is a very valuable magical item.
And I
Very
have a very valuable magical story.
How about this? I'm willing to stay here for another while until I can no longer stay. I get wanderlust. But that should give you enough time to accomplish your mission here. How about when you return from that, if you return from that, then I get your entire story and you may have this box.
All right. And she kind of wiggles her eyebrows. It is a very dramatic, emotional, sad, and vengeful story.
Can you roll either persuasion or what what else could you roll? Is it a lie? Is it true? What is it?
Oh, it's true. I think it's persuasion.
She's rolling insight. All right.
Oh, that is a natural 20.
Oh.
Let's go.
She is fascinated and she says, "Absolutely. I will trade this boat and probably more if the story is as fantastic and driven as you say."
Perfect.
Yes, it's a deal. Then I'll see you when you return from this mission, hopefully.
Ah,
She
not
curtsies.
hopefully.
You will.
Or if. Yes, indeed, you will see us return.
Very well. And sure, her eyes get big and she reaches for the statue. Can you describe the statue for me, Pieta?
Um, yeah. So it's like a s- cement. What are the like Romanian statues made out of?
Marble, probably.
Yeah, like the ones that like are chiseled and very detailed. Marble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's a marble statue, but it fits like maybe two two hands tall and maybe 2 hands wide, and it's a it's an idol, and it's a wondrous item. It looks like a white chiseled kind of angel, but one of the wings is like it looks like feathery, like if it were colored. It's all white right now, but if it were colored, it would be like a black wing, and the other one looks more put together. The other one's more scruffy. Um, I don't know if Pieta knows exactly how this works, but you've told me how this works, and they might know how this works, but he puts it out, he pulls it out and he's like, "Oh, whoops. Sorry. You even you noted that it's made out of it's carved out of a black stone of an unknown
Okay.
origin.
All right.
So not marble. Okay, okay.
So she
Um,
plays her lute, and she's like, and you can feel that magic is happening, and she's casting identify on this. And
nice.
so tell me what it does.
So, carved from a curious black stone of an unknown origin, this small totem is fashioned in the macabre likeness of the Great Old One. While attuned to the idol and holding it, you gain the following benefits. You can speak, read, and write deep speech. You can use an action to speak the idol's command word and send otherworldly spirits to whisper in the minds of up to 3 creatures you can see within 30 feet of you. Each target must make a DC 13 Charisma saving throw. On a failed save, a creature takes 2d6 physical damage and is frightened of you for 1 minute. On a successful save, a creature takes half as much damage and is not frightened. If a target dies from this damage or while frightened, the otherworldly spirit with the idol are temporarily sated, and you don't suffer the effects of the idol's otherworldly whispers properties at the next dusk. Once used, this property of the idol can't be used again until the next dusk. You can use an action to cast the augury spell from the idol. The idol can't be used this way again until next dusk.
Okay, that's a pretty powerful little thing. Um, and you're trying to sell it?
Sell it or trade it.
Trade it.
Um,
What are you trying to trade for?
well, I was originally gonna see if she would trade for the boat, but Fern has made quite a. I'd give it to Fern, but Fern has made quite a big trade already, and so now I'm kind of. Oh, I don't know what to do with it.
I
So
think you could get two things. I think there's an argument that you could get the alchemy jug and the thing I'm blanking on. Not.
There are pipes of haunting, the folding boat, the alchemy jug, and the lyre of building.
I
I for,
think you could probably argue for the alchemy jug and the bone flute. I'm gonna whisper in Pieta's ear. I think you could get two things.
really, I mean, this thing kind of scared me. I didn't really want to try to use it. It felt too
She
powerful.
she
I
says,
mean, it's worth a
I
shot to ask.
I've met people who would absolutely use this thing every day. Politicians. I think I could sell this for quite an amount. Are you willing to trade, or would you like pay?
Um, well, I think this thing is quite powerful, and I think it's worth 2 items. He holds up a two like confidently.
Which two did you think it was worth?
Well, he looks over at Sunny, kind of does a little smirk. I want the crap. What are the names again?
The
The alchemy
alchemy
jug.
jug and the pipes of haunting.
Okay? Well, can you remind me what the pipes of haunting and the building thing do again?
Oh,
Yeah, the pipes of haunting scare. It can cast the fear spell. And the lyre of building protects buildings from damage.
I don't know. That one kind of sounds cool. And then what was the
If you can
fourth one?
play it. The fourth one was the folding boat.
Oh, right. The folding boat. If you can play it.
yeah, I don't know if any of us. liar. I can't.
I'm gonna just tell you straight up, the lyre of building is expensive.
Um, yeah, so Pieta says, I think the flute and the other thing that I'm forgetting always.
The alchemy jug.
Alchemy jug. The jug and the flute. That seems fair to me.
And she puts out her hand to shake.
He also shakes.
Deal.
Cool.
And so
Have
now
fun.
you have pipes of haunting. You probably should write these down.
Yep, I
And
am.
an alchemy jug. And she now has your statue, and it's out of gameplay. She's gonna make a lot of money with that statue.
Yeah, I just couldn't wrap my head around how to make it the most use out of that.
Oh, hell
So like,
yeah. Because it feels like it's cursed, right?
yeah, you said you called it a cursed idol. A cursed idol.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Well,
I was always too scared to touch it.
that takes care of 3 of the 4 items that she was offering up. And she's got an incredible story to tell. And she, if you guys want to do an insight check, what's your passive again?
16.
16. Oh, she's not concealing how gleeful she is about getting that story. She almost feels bad for only paying you guys 13 platinum.
Pieta also takes a moment and says, "You know what? While I'm at it, I do also have a story to share that might be of use to you. I feel like throughout my travels, I haven't really experienced anyone else that's gone through this that kind of almost died. I mean, of course, Rip died and came back, but this is kind of a weird situation. Anyways, I think it could be of use to you.
By all means, can you give me a synopsis so I could evaluate if I would like to
Sure,
hear the whole thing? Sure.
sure.
Please.
Pieta starts um, by telling about his meeting with looking up right now, Thorber, and and how we went to train and I got kind of lost and almost felt like I went into another dimension with spiders, and I woke up and there were spiders all around me, um and felt particularly connected to like another worldly string after that.
Interesting. She listens and she starts asking you questions about your travels with throughout your life.
He
And
tells her about Slayer's Take, and yeah, go ahead.
and she asks you enough questions to start talking about those white spiders that y'all fought in the forest and other giant spiders here and there. She
hmm
keeps asking you questions, and then she asks a very important question that I don't think you've considered. She says, "Have any of the spiders attacked you first?"
Piet's just kind of like gets taken
Yeah.
aback, like like I never thought about that.
Roll an
Is what
insight
he's
check,
thinking.
please, with advantage.
Insight. Nice. That's a
Actually,
21.
yeah. The rest of you can also do an insight check if you're listening.
Let, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
That's +6 to insight. So now, hold on a second.
-1.
That's a 4 for Fern.
Okay.
9.
9. Rip?
That's a 23. Rip's going, now hold on a second.
Yeah. Rip and Pieta, you realize 0 giant spiders have gone after Pieta. He's killed a couple, but none of them have gone after him. ever.
Pieta suddenly starts feeling really bad about killing the spiders. He he kind of goes like a little like, um, oh what's the word? Uh, where you like start thinking about your whole identity. What's the? Oh.
Having an existential crisis.
Yeah, he kind of has a little bit of an existential crisis. Like, oh my God, do they think of me as a brother? Am I killing my own brethren? Am I a murderer? And he just like starts kind of like whispering it loud enough for you guys to hear if you listen, but like
Oh, no.
like loud enough to be like to just be within his own sphere of himself.
And
Like,
Rip, with that insight, you can extrapolate out and say, if spiders don't attack Pieta, would Lolth attack Pieta? Would the spiders she sent to kill you guys, if she ever does, go after Pieta? Does he have like immunity? Who knows?
I never tested this. He like erupts a little bit. He's just, what is it? What is it? Oh, but I killed so
Gotta
many.
figure out a way to test this out.
Oh my God. He just kind of like starts breathing a little bit.
Well, this is a very interesting tale. Thank you very much. I would like to hear it, and so if you're going to tell your story, let's have Stony roll a d20 and see how much she pays this time.
I rolled a 10.
So she gives you 10 platinum. And Sunny takes it again.
Sunny, hey Sunny. Never mind.
Best, it's fine.
I got you something. Oh my God. He's just like kind of like after he tells the story, he's just like face spiders, and he just kind of like rests his head.
Yes, I wouldn't really think too much into it. There are such things as coincidences.
It's too late. He's like he can't even really hear you. He's just like resting his head on his.
Pieta!
Ah!
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, you just weren't paying attention to me, and I was talking to you. I was saying that there are such
very
things.
often. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. What? Could you repeat that?
Oh no, go ahead.
No, I
why
want
is
to hear
this
what you
time-
said. I
why
missed
is-
what you said. I want to know what my friend told me. Said directly to me. Just to make sure that I heard properly.
Piet's like, what? Oh, I meant, I meant, oh yeah, that doesn't really happen often. I'm sorry.
Coincidences. There are such things as coincidences, Peter. I would not wrap your brain around it too much.
Do they feel bad? Do you think they feel bad? Do you think they,
You
do
know,
they
No?
view me negatively now?
I don't know that they feel a lot, so they probably don't feel bad. I mean, they were attacking us, your friends, so there's that.
Piet just kind of slumps and stays quiet.
Now, I can't say that they've never hit back. They probably have hit you, but none of them have attacked you first. That's the point.
Hmm.
At this point in the story, I don't think any of them have.
There have
Not
not.
that I can remember.
I made sure of it. There have not. That's been part of my plot points.
No, not hit first, like hit at all. I'm not sure
Oh,
any of them.
I'm pretty sure
Rick sits
spiders
next
are
down
mad at
next to Pieta and just looks like they're thinking real hard. So quiet, real thinking.
Well, thank you very much for your stories. I happened to stay awake the entire time you slept as a sort of sentry, even though the Myconids, they don't seem to be concerned with anything, but I felt it my prerogative to stay on duty, so I'm very tired. And this has been a lovely exchange, but I believe going to rest. Unless anyone has another tale to tell. And if
Uh, Not a tale, but I would pay you for this if you wouldn't mind. You've been down in these parts for quite some time, yes?
yes, on and off, yes.
Would you mind help me marking some locations on this map here? I seem to have gotten the an old map, and I was wondering if you'd look over it with me and perhaps pointed out a few things of interest that we might avoid, or perhaps things of note. We're going towards a certain place, and we have a direction somewhat, but perhaps if we could refine it, that would be wonderful. So, if you would not mind, I would be more than willing to pay you for your services.
Yeah, I'll take a look. Yes,
And then I will let you
uh,
sleep.
thank you. What are you particularly searching for?
Well, first and foremost, we're looking for a citadel, it seems, based on our dream.
There are various and sundry citadels or tall structures in very odd places. In
Mm,
fact, scattered around, salted through the entire cavern, there must be 30 or more of them that I've seen, and I haven't even covered the entire
Perhaps then I shall
world.
describe as best I can what I observed in the dream. Um, Saw many scaffolding, uh, cracks in the ground with glowing, glowing lights, impossibly tall in height, seemingly almost impossible to climb. Does anyone else remember anything from the dream that we shared?
A temple with three wings and a statue in the middle of it with like eight spider legs, and then it was smashed where the body was. But there were human arms on the ground, which, well, statue human arms on the ground, which that part was weird. Um, and it was really dark, and there were little pink lights that lit
How,
the way.
how did you come to arrive at this stony mountain?
I followed the other little sprouts, but that was I don't. It doesn't seem like everyone with sprouts in their.
Oh, maybe you could ask them. It seems it could be any of the ones that I've traveled by. They are ancient drow structures that as far as I know, none of them are in use, but most of them still stand in some way with parts destroyed and parts remaining. You can see them in the distance if you rise up high enough and look across the horizon, here and there. Uh, I, Without a starting point, she looks at the map. Well, I suppose. Do you know where we are? Can you identify where we are on this map?
I believe that we are here.
Okay. Hmm. And she gestures to a couple general areas where the nearest ones might be. I think there's. I don't see them labeled anywhere, and I don't know the names of any of them, unfortunately,
You do not
because they're
speak
ruined.
the language Undercommon.
I do not. But none of I mean, since they're not in use, no one speaks the names of each fortress anymore. Um, I'm sorry, I can't be of more help. I can generally circle the areas where I think they probably some of them are.
Hmm.
And she marks a few spots.
Well, I thank you anyway. Um, Perhaps this will give us some direction. At least placing where you think these spots might be does us a great help anyway. Now
I'm
I will
glad to be
leave
of
you to
help.
your rest.
Thank you. And she calls out a word, and the little myconids that are kind of watching from a distance from behind trees and stuff, um, they go run and pat the ground, and this thing starts swelling up for her to sleep in. And she thanks them in common. Thank you, little ones, and gathers her stuff and crawls inside this thing, and it kind of seals up over her. The the surface, the top is kind of, it's not completely opaque, translucent. You can see that there's someone in there, but you can't see details anymore.
So get comfy sleeping.
Well,
Yeah. And you remember the spores put you to sleep pretty quick.
it's very fortunate that we found her, but I think we should continue ahead. And while we're going, perhaps we can keep our eyes out for any of our mushroom friends, and maybe they can clarify the way.
When you
Yeah.
start to move and collect your things and you're saying this, a group of them kind of gather around and not too close. They all seem to be a little bit wary, but they're definitely paying attention to you because you look like you're packing up.
Rip's gonna sit down on the ground near them, cross-legged, and take out a parchment and some charcoal, or find some charcoal, and kind of um, sketch like a rough memory of what this temple with three wings kind of looked like. Um, and then like gesture for Stony to give them the map. And I'll point at both, and I'll point at the drawing of the temple and point at the map and see if I can get them to put two and two together.
Uh, let me roll something for them. Yeah, they don't seem to know what the paper is or what it's trying to be. It's just a flat piece of parchment to them. But as you guys are gathering up your stuff, much like at the very beginning of this part of your dream, a couple of them in the distance are kind of looking at you and pointing behind them.
Oh, well, okay. And I'll start to follow them.
Okay? Is everybody ready?
Yes.
And is Otto also with you? I can't ever remember.
I don't know. I know he came with us to Craghammer, but I might have left him somewhere safe in Craghammer instead of down.
So you didn't take him into the Underdark. Okay,
I
cool. All right, so you guys, it triggers a memory from your dream like, yeah, all these little guys are standing here pointing and they're pointing in a direction. So you walk where they're pointing and you walk off into the woods, and the floor, the ground has these little pulsing little pink lights in the floor of the forest, and it sort of leads you. You look behind; they're not pulsing behind you, and they're not pulsing too far ahead. It's always just in front of you. So you follow this path. You come to the where the boughs are arched, and it makes a tunnel through the forest, and you travel through.
Fern is giggling. Uh, just the how fortuitous it is that these mushrooms are leading the way. And she has a little bit of like a haughty smile on her face because ultimately she has won her dream, and her friends now know that these mushrooms are alive.
Yes, they are. Um, so, after a couple hours of walk down this kind of tunnel of trees, and you can see from far in front of you they're not like that, but when you get close, they're moving very slowly, but you can see them moving so that they form these archways that you're passing under. They're guiding you on purpose. Uh, and something has, as you know, something has told them to do this, and so they're following instruction.
Can I make a nature check to see if I can figure out what told them to do this?
Um,
Or some kind of crime? Here.
how about an insight check? Because you've got all the information, you just need to put it together.
I know, like some trees. No,
Yeah.
maybe I can. That's a 15.
Um, they're not really trying to hide anything. And so, I mean, talking amongst your party members, Stony probably, and Stony and Fern, probably Pieta too, can tell you that the mushrooms control this forest, and
Oh, yeah.
Aphothil told them what to do. So,
Oh, yeah.
um, yeah, so it's direct influence of Lady Aphothil who's
Yeah.
making this happen. So, you guys pass through this long tunnel, this of arched trees, and you come out on the other side, and there are fields of treeless fields of tall, thin-bladed, um, dark red, like blood red grass that you're passing through. And this is not lighting up, so you're just continuing on a straight line through this area. I need someone to roll a survival check. Whoever is going to lead the way. Who do you think is leading?
I've got a +6.
Definitely not Stony.
Right? So as Rip leads the way, since there's no more there's no more pink brick road to follow.
No more pink brick road. I might need a recheck after a little while because I got a 9. If anybody else wants to,
I think Sonny's going to give you the help action.
sweet. Oh no, that's an 11.
Okay. Better than average, or it's
Yeah.
roughly exactly average.
Yeah.
You feel like going straight through this grass is the best way. You don't know if you were supposed to turn. They didn't tell you anything, so you just plow ahead. And on the far side, after walking through probably 45 minutes of more and more like, is this the right way? I don't know. We're just going to keep going straight. I don't know. You come out on a rockier ground, and in between a lot of the cracks are lichens and mosses and funguses, fungi, and you see they start pulsing tiniest bit to lead you again across the stones. And you see rising in front of you a rocky crag. It's just like one jagged point of a mountain. And 3/4 of the way up, you can see in the distance there's a citadel on top of it, and there is flickering light coming from the windows of this citadel. And as you come to another hour later, you come to the base of this cliff. Underneath the citadel, it's just like it was in the dream. There is no way up. The road stops right here. And high above you is a gurney swaying in the non-existent breeze, so it wouldn't be swaying. It's just hanging. And there are remnants of things on the ground, like things have fallen from above or been left here. It looks like crates and empty boxes and things. So this is where your wagon would have come and been left here to be hauled up to the top. But right now, without calling attention to yourself, there's no way up. But the tiny, tiny pulsing glowing lights on the ground guide you to the right. And remembering your dream, you skirt around to the right, another hour of walking along the base of this giant hill until you find these really broken, craggy shelves of stone that are cracked and crumbling, and it looks really difficult. The little glowing pulses lead you up it, and that's where we'll stop tonight, at the base of these crumbling cliffs, with your ascent looming ahead of you.
Should have brought a scroll of fly.
Well, somebody can fly.
Sunny's got herself a cape that'll help a lot.
Yep. All right. So with that, we'll say good night, everyone, and thank you all for being here with us and going through this strange little trippy journey tonight. And hope
Very
we
trippy.
see you next Monday on Dicey Decisions, Zeros to Heroes. Yes, that's hard for me to say for some reason, Dicey Decisions. There's too
Dicey
many
decisions.
Dicey
Dicey
Decisions.
decisions.
It's
Dicey
like that
decisions.
guy who couldn't say flaky, buttery, crispy. You know, that one guy, that old guy. I'll post it. I'll post
right.
it in the memes.
I'm the old guy. All right.
No, that's what I was saying.
Good night, everybody. We
Good
have
night.
had a blast. Hope you have too. See you next week.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Good night. Good night.
Goodbye. Good night. Goodbye. Good night. Goodbye.